The reason climate change has united my generation is because
no matter where you live, no matter what kind of privilege you have,
it's going to affect every single person.
This issue threatens to bring civilization as we know it to a standstill.
I just want to talk about a climate crisis again.
We were sick and fed up with our leaders ignoring us just because we don't have a vote.
When the older generation sees that these are their kids that are so concerned about this issue, it will sway them when they go in to vote.
The whole point of this is that we're giving high school students a voice.
And it's our chance for people to listen to us. If we can shout loud enough, they might just listen to us, and this is our way to raise our voice. Help us create a future which is better than yours. You're not supposed to steal it.
I feel a sort of duty and obligation to be doing this.
Wow. Right.
So I had originally planned to spend the day kind of catching up on my notes, getting a start on some of the assignments that I've been given, but it didn't really work out because I just kind of got really sidetracked with school strike for climate stuff. It is procrastination, but it's procrastination to save the world, you feel?
I had never really been in charge of anything before. I'd never really organised anything. The biggest decisions I've ever had to make in terms of an event is, the type of cake I want in my 10th birthday party.
Hey, so I'm here with the New Adelaide School Strike for Climate student team. We are so hyped for this next school strike. Oh, yikes. I come from a family where discussions of justice and equity and privilege are always happening. For me, when I started reading into climate change, it became pretty clear that this issue is so deeply tied with justice and equity. To me, it just seems so unfair that the people that are going to suffer the most under climate change, this generation and the future generations, are the ones that have contributed the least to it. Being a part of the school strike for climate movement as someone who can't vote, it's like a source of empowerment.
Hey, so at the moment I'm in the State Library alone. It's the 15th of February today. Wow, we're literally a month away. It's exciting. Politics is one of my biggest passions. I come from a conservative family in the inner southeast suburbs of Melbourne. But my values and beliefs somewhat differ from them. I'm more socially progressive than they are, economically a bit more in the centre than they are too.
Today, we are launching the second Melbourne School Strike for Climate. Us students will persist in our efforts to make the government act.
My parents were not the largest fan of me devoting my entire summer holiday to the School Strike for Climate movement. Told me I should get a job, actually, a lot.
Good morning, everyone. Today is the day that we are going to get on a plane and go to Bali, so I'm super excited. I will show you around the house. This is the backyard. It's absolutely an incredible backyard. It's actually really special because every night we either get possums, but we also get bats. This is Minnie, the mouse. She is extremely fat. I should call her Maxie because she's like a marshmallow. So this is Minnie. Ow, ow, oh, ow. Okay, she just bit me. First time. Ow. Okay, so we're going to put her back.
Definitely a year ago, there was no way I would consider myself an activist.
The issue with climate change is it's usually the most vulnerable people that get impacted first. I hate that so much because, if anything, I'm more of a humanitarian than environmentalist.
But I hadn't
got into any activism until like the end of last year when I read about climate change.
Which really opened my eyes up to environmental abuse that was happening.
And everything to me just started to make sense.
I felt that I had to do as much as I could in this privileged position
to help creatures and organisms who have been pulled into this climate crisis by us.
It's more than just tackling climate change. It's about uniting young people.
And I think that's exactly what this whole movement is about. So, yeah, I would consider myself an activist.
My family has always been really big animal lovers, and which is part of the reason why I'm so passionate as well.
Introduced my dad, he loves animals, and on our way to the working out to binoculars. He has just spotted up in that building there is a couple of hawks going in, and we think it has a nest.
My parents haven't drummed this into me. I know that lots of people were saying that, but really it was my idea, it was my doing. We have quite a few strange pets, and that is snakes. We have 8 snakes. These 2 guys, they're venomous. This is Aslan. So he is just sunbaking because it's a bit chilly. And then we have a Chapel Island tiger snake. These guys are both highly venomous. As long as we have respect, they have respect for us, we have respect for them, they're not going to bite.
But I have an amazing team and we work, so well together.
So the first thing is thank you. So Tom, we're going to be like, thanks for your time. Second point of talking would be?
A background on the school strike.
Okay.
Managing, all the different voices and all the different agendas that are kind of mixed in the school strike, the climate movement, it definitely takes a lot of, open communication and the ability to negotiate.
We're doing some work for this evening where we're going to Greensborough Town Hall for Balliol Council, and we're actually going to be giving a quick talk about things people can do, councils can do, and stuff relating to the strike. I'll keep you guys posted on the town hall and everything else that is going on, because this is quite cool. I've always been somewhat environmentalistic, but never too much. I am personally involved in the climate change movement because of how ever-present it is. There is no aspect of society, of our culture, of our economy, of anything that isn't affected by this issue. It affects the future of myself and those around me.
Last night we had this first sort of meeting in a while where all the working groups came together, which was good, productive, but it's just somewhat worrying to see the amount of civil disobedience that people want to do. We just have to keep telling people, don't piss off the people in power, because ultimately we need them to make decisions and we need them to change the policy. We had some adult who attended the meeting and who just said all the rules should go out the window, and that's not in the spirit of us, it's not in the spirit of how we do things. And we think we need to make change by working within the rules that we got. It's the way it's got to be done. If we don't, we're just going to build a name for ourselves as radicals and extremists. We're not here for changing and uprooting the economic system. We're here to get climate action.
Are people listening to young people? Depends on the issue exactly. It's, are they addressing the problems and concerns of climate change? No. We're not really being listened to as much as just heard.
I think people have this really, really misguided idea of what this younger generation is like. So they call us entitled, they call us narcissistic.
And we do feel somewhat entitled to have a world just as good as that as our parents.
We are just demanding for a planet that isn't entirely devastated from the impacts of the climate crisis.
We have a lot to deal with.
Future generations are doing so much and trying so hard.
My generation is going to stand up.
We're not being represented fairly.
So a movement like this allows those voices to be heard and those voices to speak
out, because every decision made by politicians and things are going to affect our generation far more.
It's really important that young people are in charge of this movement, because it was originally designed as a movement to empower under 18s who cannot vote and cannot have their voice heard through that system.
It's our democratic right to be able to strike and to have a voice. Our entire future rests on the decisions that other people make today.
We're establishing ourselves as the generation who took action against climate change because politicians won't.
The biggest challenge would have to be working with like external third parties.
We have had a couple of issues with people basically selling like their organisation's magazine alongside handing out flyers for our march. To kind of address that, I've like posted a list of guidelines in the group chat, and I thought that'd be fine. I thought I wouldn't really have to engage in a confrontation, except that person was like, oh, I don't agree with these guidelines. I was like, okay, that's a fair enough concern. I'm really happy to engage with that and see how we can resolve this. And she still hasn't replied. I just think it's another case of adults thinking that they know better, and that gives them the right to speak over students. You know, this is a student-led movement and all of our partners are aware of this. I'm probably going to have to go in on Tuesday to the city where their meeting is held and really clarify a couple of, you know, wishes of the School Strike for Climate team. Yeah, and just issues like this, they're really distracting and time-consuming.
This is Castle Hill, one of the main attractions in Townsville. So basically a big rock in the middle of the city. It's a lot different from sorry, ant just bit me. It looks very different from Sydney, where I was born. It's still quite bushy, and it's got very nice nature. Ow! Sorry, there's lots of ants. I'm gonna move. Been in Townsville for about 6 years. I'm here until I finish school, so I'm in year 8, so 4 more years. I'm checking if there's no cars. Townsville, well, Queensland especially, is very, how do I put this nicely, strong in their views. It's just a very pro-mining place. This is what you see. It says, we support jobs, we support Adani. So that's what Townsville truly is. But just because I live in Townsville, in a place that does have signs like this, doesn't mean it's going to stop me. I am here at the MP Theatre where our next strike's going to be. So that's the stage, and hopefully we fill up all these seats. Now, as it is Townsville, we're probably not going to get as much as like Melbourne or Sydney or those kind of places. I'm super excited. I am quite nervous as well because I'm not sure how many people are going to turn up. I think I'll go fine. It's just nerves, which is a normal thing. I keep on reminding myself that. But yeah, this is my first one, and so I'm really excited. And yeah, bye.
It was honestly quite awful. It's kind of quite overwhelming at times, because I just felt like they say that they support this movement and they support it being student-led. I feel like they only want it to be student-led in name, and like they weren't respecting that this is a student-led movement. They were telling me how, like, you know, I should be going about movement building. I just do not feel like their support is genuine in the slightest, and that is so frustrating. Yeah, it was just a case of being spoken about, but not spoken to, which is horrible. I'm gonna go home now. Bye.
I'm not really used to negotiating because, you know, I don't think any teenager really is, like, having to make compromises with adults that are very, very persistent and very, very stubborn. I really haven't faced such opposition in my life, in my short life.
Hey, so we're coming back from Banyule Council. It was
impressive turnout.
Impressive. There was Naomi. There was you.
There was me.
There was me. And that was it. It was great. Turns out kids do not want to.
Meeting.
Kids don't want to do forums
Where
after school on a Friday. Whew. Youth for climate change, am I right?
We've got a meeting early, 8 a.m. tomorrow.
It's going to be like a 6:30 wake
because
up.
the climate strike is our lives now.
We do not sleep.
It's really, really important to us that this movement is student-led, and it's great if you want to help us, but it's really important that that's on our own terms. Yeah. So like over the last few days, I've been completely working on strike stuff instead of schoolwork. So I'm gonna head offline now for 48 hours. Wish me luck. Bye.
Yesterday we went out manta ray snorkeling. We unfortunately didn't see any manta rays, but we went on some lovely snorkels. The reef was absolutely amazing. Of course, it depended where you went, as some of the corals were dead, but it was absolutely beautiful. But as you looked closer, we found a lot of rubbish. Ribbons, lots of plastic bags, lots of those. It stinks. Food wrappers, plastic bags. People need to listen. It's not an opinion anymore, it's a fact. Face the facts. You know what we're talking about. When people, say, oh, they're just so cute, trying to strike for the world, save the world. We aren't here to be cute. Nothing is cute about it.
I currently go to high school, so year 8.
I'm in a Steiner Street.
My school's been very supportive.
My school are really into it.
No, they're not supportive at all.
And some schools literally have closed their gates.
The purple is school strike stuff, and then the black is school stuff.
My biology assignment is due on Friday, and it is huge.
I will just sit down and work on my goddamn speech. I have a lot to do.
Oh my god, this is so stressful. A level of stress is good. It shows you care about it. Yeah, I'm gonna have a breakdown tomorrow. Like, what was I saying about stress again?
My involvement with school strike and I guess dedication towards getting good grades, it's resulted in me sacrificing my social life.
It was like a part-time job because I'm spending hours every day doing this, but I just want to go to sleep.
Anytime I find in the middle of the day, I will use it to study.
My friends are all striking too. They're feeling the exact same way as I am.
I wouldn't want to do this, but it's a reality where I have to.
It's a hard problem, and you're asking a bunch of high school students to try and offer you solutions when, you know what, we got homework to do.
I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I always try to aim for A+ and stuff. I can't just pass. I need to do really well, and obviously that takes a lot more commitment and effort. For my chemistry, I was so overwhelmed with media and logistics, so I didn't get around to studying. So then I went in and I sat the test, and I got a B, and that's the lowest grade I've probably ever gotten in a test in the last 3 years. So juggling that and trying to, while also organising the school strike has been stupidly difficult.
Hello! This year in year 12, I'm a school captain and just managing everything. Obviously, climate action has to come first, but I really want to make sure this year I can have a big impact within the school. I like community activism and being part of projects that are standing up against companies, etc., that are causing so much damage. So I might briefly talk about the artworks I did last year. I took 720 photos from different places along creeks, and that represents all the plastic travels through is the rivers, the waterways, the estuaries. I've got a 2-year delayed bone age, so I'm actually much shorter and look younger than my age. Which has helped in terms of media and stuff in actions and things, but also is a disadvantage obviously when talking to police and stuff. It's just hard for people to take you serious when you don't look as old as you actually are. Fossil fuels kill the problem and the solution. We need really action by as many organisations as we can to really make significant change and to really mobilise the people. I feel like non-violent direct action is important to me, particularly in like Melbourne. Respect existence or expect resistance. I don't want to be using violence, which is basically being inflicted by big companies and corporations against people in the environment.
Hi, I'm Aisha. Let me get a good angle. After school, I would love to study medicine. It's the perfect subject for me. I'm in year 12 and I am a Victorian school striker. I'm a young woman of colour. My parents are from Bangladesh. In primary school, I learnt about orangutans and how palm oil can affect their habitats and lead to habitat loss. And from there, I would always check out the ingredients list when I used to go shopping. And if there's palm oil, Mum, sorry, we can't buy that. My parents are actually quite progressive. I've got a lot of other friends and their parents are quite conservative, or they aren't as progressive or as free as my parents. They want me to take up as many opportunities as I can to be the best person I can and try and change the world for a better place. It's more than just saving the planet. It's more than just tackling climate change or taking action against climate change. For me, it's about uniting young people.
Just got home recently, had a quick logistics meeting. Out taking the dog for the walk at the moment. I'm moving out of the house in about 2 or so weeks to start university. I'm in the strike as a week or so after we start classes and everything. It's just a lot to take in, a lot that's going to be going on. Don't get a lot of time to just kind of stop and think. There's always something next to be doing. But, yeah. We're getting there. Where's the dog, though? Hold on. Louis!
Hi! I'm doing my vlog after school, so I'm a little bit sweaty and tired, so don't mind me. I've got 2 weeks before the strike, so that's super, super exciting, and I think this is going to be a great strike. A huge outcome, hopefully. I have been pretty busy with year 12 and schoolwork. My study schedule looks kind of like this. After school, I would love to study medicine, so I'm balancing school strike with school work. It's not an easy task, but I just try and prioritise schoolwork. So if I've got a sack, I'll say, okay, I've got to do this, this and this for it, and if I don't get it done by this, I am going to have to delete all my social media off my phone, and that's what happens a lot of the time. Personally, I don't believe anyone should sacrifice their schoolwork or school life for the strikes. And I'm not saying don't go to the strikes. That's not what I'm saying. I think you should strike from school. But I don't think I should be, well, for me, I don't believe I should be spending hours and hours a week behind the strike movement, especially in year 12, because I do want to get a good guitar. I do want to get into the course that is of my dreams, and I can't really do that if I'm going to focus on the strikes all the time.
Oh my gosh, so many things to do.
Yeah, I've been really busy recently. We went to Parliament House.
They're declaring a climate emergency tomorrow, and we organised with the Deputy Mayor to be speaking in support of it, obviously.
School strike for climate meeting. It went down really well. We got a lot done.
So we're just about to go in and meet Senator Rex Patrick. We're going to AYCC as climate leaders.
I know we're working some of the logistical elements. So I think we've got the police contact sorted, we're getting the permits done.
And I need to email everyone that signed up for promo. What else do I need to do? That's another thing. Also another thing I need to do. Oh my god.
It's really heating up.
Seems like we're really making an impact.
Hey, so today is Monday, and I am at the library because I have an accounting test tomorrow. So I'm just here to study for that. So I'm in the city because later today, in about 6 hours, we have another Paint the Town event. And I have to go to that because I'm coordinating it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a chemistry set tomorrow, which I'm a bit freaking out on. Just had the global politics one, which I wasn't really prepared enough for because of these commitments I'm putting towards this. I should be prioritising climate action over school because it is so... Because, like, what future will I have if I don't start getting really active? I obviously do really value education because knowledge is power, and, yeah, I'm really lucky to have education. We just really also know that we have to act now. I actually had a meeting today about, like, tactics and stuff to escalate after the strike and before the strike. A bit more like cheeky actions, actions that get a bit more like media and stuff on. Just keep it constantly on politicians and government minds.
Hi! We've got stickers, someone hold up stickers, yeah! And we've got posters. I'm sticking up some stickers. Not spray paint, chalk paint, because we are legal children.
Hey, so I'm back in the library now. I've just come back from Panton Town, but instead of going back down for the debrief, I've decided to come back to the library and finish my accounting revision because I have a test tomorrow. You know, it's kind of tough for me to leave like things that I've organised halfway through, and it's really important that I do well in this test because it's a year 12 test and it goes towards my ATAR, which determines like the degree I can get into. But yeah, it's...
So last year's strike was hugely successful in Melbourne. I think we had about 4,000 students walk out and join us. I think there is the pressure that we want to make sure that the strike we organised March 15 is as successful as the one back in November, because this time it's organised by young people rather than, I guess other environmental organisations. So the pressure is, can we pull it off like the adults do? Can we pull it off? I guess that's something we're a little bit stressed about, but at the same time we know that working together we can get the job done.
Just making some glue to do some postering in a few minutes. It will be done and we'll be out on the streets postering, just to ensure we don't use that sticky tape that uses heaps of like plastic. Oh yeah, postering for the school strike.
Camera person here. Whoa!
We're going to need to do lots of things like this to make it big. I constantly feel like I'm pressuring myself to make this strike more effective, and yeah, that has a little toll on me and my energy, but I think if I can use my time well with the strike stuff, it should have a better effect for future generations. Got some amazing news that the school principal has allowed me to send out an email to all teachers and staff at the school about the strike and how it would be great if they can respect us striking, why we're striking, and why it's so important to us. And I feel like that's a huge step and that's really crucial.
Here is a really, really important lesson. Never, ever read the Facebook comments.
My first opinion editorial received so much backlash, and I was just reading through all these comments that were just saying, such a little brat, she's so brainwashed.
What an idiot.
She doesn't know what she's talking about.
Stupid.
She's such like a f***ing idiot.
Climate change isn't real. You're going to want to bleep this. You totalitarian leftist stop brainwashing our children.
There was this one that said, I would pay to see you get punched up. Like, why? What's your motivation?
There was an article and the headline was, Hardline Greenie is coach kids to skip school. Yeah.
Oh, it's really upsetting.
There was this one lady that came up and was like, oh, well, I hope you don't use your phones or aircon. And it's true. We're not perfect.
I'm aware I contribute to some waste.
These adults really need to realise how they act has a direct effect on the mental health of kids.
There are always going to be haters. There are always going to be people who oppose what young people do.
For every comment like that, there is at least 10 supporting us. It's great to see the amount of support we're getting.
If you're watching, I love you guys.
I've been very busy with quite a few things at the moment. I've been doing a lot of packing for college. In fact, let me grab this fun thing. Ooh. First year at Melbourne. Okay, let's put that away. It's exciting. It's stressful though, too. Leaving the family, leaving everything. But you know, throughout it, there's been like logistical meetings too, and organising student interviews and the likes. But I've got to pack for college. I'm officially a uni kid, and I'm weaseling my way out of the school strike movement because it's no longer my space, and it's interesting having been here through the holidays in a way. As soon as I started, I still felt like a high school kid. But as we've gone closer to the strike and as it's gotten more invested, I've become a uni kid.
Hey, so I just got my accounting test back, the one I was studying for, and I got an A+. I only lost 2 marks. So this is just proof that doing school strike for climate stuff isn't making me fail life, so eat.
To be honest, I haven't been able to really stay on top of all my schoolwork. Like I'm spending almost all my time campaigning. I want to make sure I can have as best of an impact on this planet, on this movement. Yeah, sorry teachers that I'm going to say this, but the strikes I feel like are going to have a larger impact on this world than what I'm learning from school.
Oh, here's the tea. Tea time. I have a sack on Friday, the day of the strike. My school refuses to reschedule it because A, I'm not sick, and B, it's not a school event. But I guess this is where I have to consider, and I have to toss up between school or strike. And strike is so important to me that I can't let it go, but at the same time, I don't want to skip out on my sack and get a 0 for that.
Around Australia, you really do find a lack of young people involved in decision making.
This is my future. I didn't get to vote.
I'm doing all this campaigning. I'm trying to convince all these people to vote in a certain way, but I can't vote myself.
The older generations aren't looking out as much for the younger generations.
We're seeing TAFE being debated, university fees being debated. These are things that will literally affect me in 12 months?
I think young people should definitely be able to vote, making it non-compulsory for those who really are passionate about these issues that are going to affect their lives.
I think by 16 I would be able to have my head straight enough to be able to vote.
So, I'm sitting in my car right now, I'm trusted to control this massive, 1-ton chunk of metal, and yet apparently my decision-making skills aren't good enough to cast a vote.
If we intend to extend the vote to year 11s and 12s essentially, then the government really needs to up their game in supporting civics and citizenship education.
But teach us so we have an understanding. We're not just, what's my parents doing, let's vote that.
I think you would see a lot of young people becoming more engaged in politics and leadership, which is really what we want, right?
I'm usually quite awkward in person, so let's just see how this goes. Hey, my name is Tiara. I'm 17 years old and I'm from Southwest Sydney and I am a climate striker. My family is originally from Sri Lanka. So shout out to all my Sri Lankan people. I love to listen to music. I love to sing. It's like every single time I reach out, you push away and I'm sick of getting shut down. I wrote this, I want to say, about a couple months ago. Let me know what you think. I was also just comparing the amount of negative news I see on my timeline. And that's kind of hard to see that every day. It's just a reminder that I need to do better. And even though I'm maybe making little changes like eating less meat or starting to use bamboo straws or even though I'm doing the little things, I feel like in a way I'm contributing. This is a major issue. This isn't a result or product of the left. This isn't a leftist issue. This isn't a right issue. This is survival.
Hello, everyone. We will be going and chalking Glenferrie Station. I'm so excited, literally. I cannot wait. So my name is Fatma, but I introduce myself as Fatima because not many people understand me. So yeah, I'm Fatma, and I plan on starting uni this year. Ethnically, I'm Pakistani, but I was born and I was raised in Saudi Arabia. I lived there for 13 years. As a young woman, I didn't have any opportunity to speak up or take on much of a leadership role in Saudi. But now I have this opportunity to improve, so I will. I'm kind of in charge of like promos, so handing out flyers, getting the word out. Stickers came today. I'm gonna cry. Through social media, through campaigning, through street art. I have a lot of promo ideas, but I don't know if we can use them all. Oh my gosh, maybe we should get bookmarks. Okay, bookmarks would be overkill. I don't want people going like, oh my gosh, that one's going out of control. But bookmarks.
Preparation-wise, I think I'm doing quite well. I've already got a speech and I'm just rehearsing at it. I've actually got my first kind of media thing for the Bulletin, which is a local newspaper. So that's coming up today. So I'm a little bit nervous about that.
So I had to stop doing my modern homework for a second because I got saddled into baby duty. How fun is that, Bella? So here's why I care about climate change. I'm trying to make a point, Bella. I think that the future generations, aka this little ball of human, deserves the same thing that previous generations got, which was a clean earth.
Someone asked me what climate change means. To me, it's the selfishness of other people who won't be here when the actual effects of climate change are irreversible. It was really hard to, number one, explain the strike itself to my mother because she knows what a strike is. But if she hears the word missing and school, she'll just be like, no, you can't miss school.
So this week we have the strike. It's this Friday. Very excited because this is like the home stretch. This is where you push. So today I actually went on social media. I've DM'd quite a few of my friends saying, hey, can you pop up the official School Strike for Climate poster up on your Insta story or post on Facebook or whatnot, just so we can get the word out. I think it's definitely those personal connections and talking to people one-on-one that encourages them to come to the strike because it's so much more personal. So yeah.
At the moment, we're mostly just worrying about promotion, getting it out there.
And I finally got around to collecting these flyers.
We got street art in Melbourne going on, and we're getting tote bags, which is even better.
Right now at the AYCC, they're having a craft-a-noon.
And then on Saturday, I have a radio interview.
Go to loving it.
We're now being asked by the ABC to go on TV.
I'm about to go in for an interview at the Bulletin. The Bulletin.
So handing out flyers, getting the word out.
We started a social media hype sort of thing going.
Right now on Facebook, I think we had over 8,000 said that they were interested.
We had created this thing called Meme Mondays to get people to follow us.
My lesson is in 15 minutes, and what I try to do if I'm early is I go around the pond areas and I see whether there's any trash that's either gone in the water or has been dumped there. I'm singing at the protest, which is quite exciting, a bit nerve-wracking considering how many people are going to be there. I need to pick a song to do. This is kind of my first ever protest rally march, so let's just see how that goes. Yeah.
We'll be going to a meeting today, which will be the last meeting for the school strike, and just getting down all the logistics stuff. We've got the venues, the park booked in. We've got a few bands booked, and yeah, it's looking like it's going to be an amazing day.
So we just got busted by the police because they didn't like us having some removable chalk on the pavement. So yeah, they took our contact details. They asked for my mum's number, which gives me a bit of anxiety. Apparently they got 3 calls about us, and they were like, "Oh, there's a girl in a scarf doing it too," which I love. What's the word? Racial profiling, yeah. Love that for me, love that for us. When I'm with my friends or when I'm in like class, the fact that I'm Muslim isn't something that, you know, defines my experience, I reckon. It's normal to be different, but I guess when it comes to going to the workforce, that's when I feel like me being Muslim suddenly becomes really important, and it begins to kind of colour how people engage with me, how they interact with me, how they listen to me. I featured in a Facebook post, and some of the comments that I read underneath were just so mean and so negative. Yeah, you lost me at hijab. And when I see comments like that, it kind of does make me feel like I'm really different and that I'm not really like everyone else. Especially for opponents of this movement, I think they choose to attack diversity as another reason to undermine the movement. They don't have any ground to stand on. They don't have any valid attacks. So yeah.
What I love about this movement, the fact that it's so diverse and there's such bipartisanship, which is something that we don't see from, you know, Canberra. So just seeing it in my generation, seeing it in this network of amazing students, yeah, that's really heartwarming to see, and that gives me a lot of hope.
I usually put a countdown on the School Strike for Climate Instagram. I've been doing it for the past like 18 days. And for some reason, today Facebook and Instagram are down. It is messing with everyone, especially Facebook, because, that's so annoying. Hopefully it'll be back up tomorrow. Otherwise it'll be so sad because we need social media for our strike. Like we need it.
Hi, it's Marco. It's just a day before the strike. Just got lots of chalk for the strike tomorrow and just preparing my speech over here. Yeah, it's amazing. It sounds like it's going to be an amazing day. It's all coming together.
Okay, so I finally was able to post on Instagram. So there's a countdown up, and I am so fucking pumped. I cannot believe the strike is tomorrow. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and go to the strike. A global strike.
I'm really, really, really nervous. The MC script is 12 pages long and I haven't really revised or I haven't really rehearsed it. So yeah, so for the next 6 hours until I go to bed, I'm just going to be rehearsing that script.
I finally found my song. So I was contemplating doing You're the Voice by John Farnham, but I'm doing a song by the Beatles, and you can already guess what song it is, really.
So it's currently 6:30 a.m. My alarm just went off. And now it's time to have some breakfast and get moving.
Oh my god, I'm shaking. Last night I only got about 5 hours of sleep because all night I was tossing and turning because I was so excited but also so anxious about the strike today, and I've got a SAC as well, so a little bit stressed about that, but that's okay. I'll be arriving at 12:30, which is actually half an hour after the start, which is a shame because I've got my SAC and I need to do that, or else I get a 0 and I don't get the 8 hour I want. So obviously it's that fine balance, but my teacher's very understanding and she's like, you can come in 10 minutes earlier and do it. I'm like, yes, thank you. So that's me out.
Cannot believe that the strike is today. Like the strike in 3 hours.
I just ran into a teacher who told me that they have about 100 students expected to sign up from the school. I didn't expect that many. I was expecting 40 to 50.
I'm so excited for this day. I think it's going to be amazing.
Count on me to get lost the day of the protest. I am here for my first strike. They're all setting up. It's really, really exciting. Got my speech here, so wish me luck.
What's the time right now, Tomo? 10:50. So we have about 10 minutes before this thing officially starts.
In the middle of the strike, in the middle of the city. Energy! The politicians better be listening after this one.
Yeah, they will. This is insanity. Adelaide is looking full as.
I could not believe how many people were there. Hopefully this really pushes the government to act.
It completely exceeded all my expectations. I've had so many people come up to me and just say that, oh, you've given me so much hope. Like, I feel so empowered.
The younger generation has been forced to think about how they're going to survive.
I've asked you many times to change your ways. You've failed to heed my warning.
We estimated about 200 people came, which is amazing for the Townsville standards. A really good outcome.
Climate action! Now!
The highlight was just being in an environment where we all had the same objective, and not just that, but we were all fighting with anger, we were fighting with love.
Stop attacking! Stop, stop attacking! The youth are rising! No more compromising! The youth are rising! No more compromising!
I think the Australian public is listening to young people, especially after our strikes. They've realised that we do have a message and we're willing to take action.
Hopefully we've inspired enough other students from this strike to help us build the next one up.
This is the youth rising up, participating in our democracy, and this is what democracy looks like.
What do we want? Climate action! When do we want it?
I moved into a college.
It's been a bit hectic since that day. I have braces now.
Oh my god, I'm still doing it wrong.
Lots of people ask me the question, do you think it's changing people in Townsville? Considering that we got more people this time, it kind of proves that there is more people listening and more awareness is being raised.
So many new students have expressed their interest to join school strike teams across the country.
So we wear these gowns here. For myself, it's just sort of how I can encourage this movement from the sidelines rather than from within it, to stick with the values of the movement. The fact that it is students who don't have the ability to vote having the chance to have a voice.
Yeah, no, this is not over. We have a lot planned.
Yeah, there's never been a more important time to do this. There's never been a more important time because there's never been more at stake than what is at stake now.
Students are going to keep striking from school. Students are going to keep demanding action until you start listening and you start acting.
So I don't think we're going away anytime soon, because we're going to keep on coming back louder and louder, stronger and stronger. So see you next time.